Alright, so there's lots of videos out there on how to cook dampers. This one's a bit different because we're camping on Tiwa Beach. It's a lovely day, but you're not allowed to have a fire out here, so we're going to use heat beads. So I've got some fire lighters in the bottom here, and I'm going to pour out about 30 or so heat beads. You've also got to keep your fire up off the ground. You're allowed to use heat beads as a form of heating or cooking, so it's all perfectly okay. So we've got the fire lighters in there. We'll stick the heat beads up like that. This is a heat bead burner. You can get them from Bunnings. You really need something like this to get your heat beads going. Alright, we'll leave that for a while until all the heat beads go white and they're all starting to burn, and then we'll start preheating the camp oven. Alright, our heat beads are heated up properly, they're all burning. We'll put it into the camp oven. Alright, put about 10 underneath. Got there, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 might be a few too many. Alright, chuck the camp oven up there, right in the middle. Make sure you use a trivet so it doesn't burn. Tip the rest onto the top. What do we got there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. It's about 22 there. That should be fine. Alright, we'll let that heat up. It'll take us about the time it'll take for us to make the damper and let it rise for 15 minutes. So we'll come back in about 20 minutes or so. Alright, now for our ingredients. We've got 1 tablespoon of garlic, granulated garlic. It mixes better with the dry ingredients. Half a tablespoon of rosemary. Two tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes. I'm just measuring roughly because we're not cooking a souffle. Cut them up roughly. Salt and pepper to taste. And some olives. Just got plain olives today, but marinated olives are a good choice. In this case, we'll have about 6 large olives. Cut them up relatively fine slices. Next up, jalapeños. About 1 tablespoon, but depends on how you like them. Cut them up roughly. Don't want too big of pieces in there. Right. Next up, salami. You can use ham, bacon, I suppose, but what do we got here? About 2 tablespoons of salami. Chop that up into fairly thin slices. Right, next up, parmesan cheese. And we've got about 2 tablespoons of parmesan cheese. A bit more, doesn't matter. And some tasty cheese. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of tasty cheese. So 1, 2, 3, a bit more. Okay. Next up, we're going to combine all those ingredients with our flour and then mix it up. Alright, I've got all the ingredients cut up. Got the camp oven preheating. Let's get into making our savoury damper. Alright, first up, 3 cups self-raising flour. 3. Just put a little bit in there. Put a bit in there because we'll use that later. Alright, I'm using like a flat handled spatula to mix it up with. And we've got our dry ingredients, we'll chuck that in. Give that a really good mix. Alright, now for our wetter ingredients. Stir all that through. There you go. Right, I'm going to use lemonade. This is just no sugar, but you can use water, beer. Beer's good, but I'm saving the beer for me. Probably need most of this can, so I'll put a fair bit in. Just start mixing it around. It's going to all start combining like that. starting to combine and just all stick together in a bowl, in one ball. That's what you want. Just like that. Right. Let's dust our hands with some flour so it's not going to stick. Get it all together. Yep, that's feeling pretty good. Maybe it might be a touch sticky, but we'll see once it's all combined out of the bottom. That's looking pretty good. The trick with getting a nice fluffy damper is you don't want to knead it like you're kneading bread. You just want to form it together. That's starting to form together really nicely like that. That's looking really good. Alright, we'll get rid of that. Get a piece of baking paper. A little bit of flour on there. Just form it into my damper, and then I'll get a knife and score it. This is optional, of course. You can do it whichever way you want. You can put a cross in it, put lines across. It's just makes it look good at the end. Alright, sprinkle a little bit more flour over the top of it. And there we have it. That's looking pretty good. Alright, we'll leave that rise for about 15 minutes while our camp oven's still heating up, and then we'll go and put it in. Alright, camp oven should be preheated enough. Damper's risen for about 15 minutes. Let's stick her in. Oh yeah, that's nice and hot. Righto, that should take about 40 minutes. Put a timer on for 40 minutes, then we'll check it, see how it's coming along. Alright, you better check this damper. Check the skewer in, it comes out clean. Oh yeah, she's ready. Alright, let's go cut it up. Right, she's looking pretty cooked. Let's carve her up and have a look. She's got a good crust on it. Oh yeah, she's hot too. Oh, look at that. Nice crust on the top and the bottom. I'll give that a thumbs up.